Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. A couple minutes on IT security and a trip down memory lane. several moons ago, when I was but a young lad, I was a vice president of a IT company called Quanta Enterprises. And then as now, whenever there was a unique project or a particularly important project or whatnot, I actually got out in the field. So for this particular client, I was out in the field and I was doing an upgrade. And what occurred to me about this upgrade was a tremendous amount of mental taxation that I had. Now, it wasn't from not being in the field for a while. That you might think that, right? Oh, well, it's getting rusty. No, that wasn't it. And it wasn't that it was technically challenging. It was simply, upgrading. I think we were upgrading to 2003 or Windows 2003, probably. No, not that at all. What it was server names. And I kid you not, the quote was, we're upgrading everything off of the servers named for golf clubs and onto the servers named for fishing rods. Now, I don't golf. I don't fish. I do upgrades. And it ended up being a lot of conversation back and forth of, is this a golf club or a fishing rod? Is this old or new, right? And eventually, of course, I just stopped asking, just looked at the OS details and whatnot, did a quick scan on the boxes, and figured out what was what. I was reminded that today when the conversation again turned to the security advantage of naming your servers obscure names to slow down attackers. I've never bought into this. Now, the thought is name your server AT1, AT2, AT3, DM87564116, and no one will know what it is. You're completely protected. The reality is this isn't the case. And not only that, but it actually hinders security. So if you remember the whole prevention is greater than detection and response, the amount of time that it adds for an attacker to figure out what your box is by scanning it, very nominal. Very nominal. But computers, their names are much like variable names in programming. They're not there necessarily to signify anything in and of themselves. They're there to make conversations easier and to create a shared context for troubleshooting, for diagnosing, and for reporting. So changing the name does not extend your prevention window. Not even a little, right? Maybe a couple seconds, but it's so small considering most organizations, breaches for hundreds of days. It's so small that it's pointless. What it does do is it changes your detection time and oftentimes your response time. Because people in your SOC now don't have a clear visualization of what that server means. Because when they're doing the investigation and analysis and they're talking about AT4512, the human mind doesn't latch onto that. The human mind doesn't use that to evoke any sense of meaning. The human mind cannot use random strings to create a context in which to investigate breaches and quickly remedy the situation. We also see that's just like the confidentiality and integrity component of the CIA triad. Also think about the availability aspect. One of the reasons why I standardized on very simple names every time I've been in charge of IT is for availability, is for how quickly we can get systems up and online without having to mess around with it. Because again, if they're random names, no one knows what it is, and it slows down response and it slows down communication. So that's it. Please stop spreading the rumor that changing the name buys you anything. It's only hindering your response team. With that, cheers. Have a good one.